Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1, or heavens knows, a 2v2 on, you guessed it, it is Dreux Scout. In these, this is Lord and Witchdoctor fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, and the Third Guards mechanized core task with breaking through the lines here held by Duffman and Hotzenplotz. Fighting here for Deutschland, the Wehrmacht. Well, with the Oberkommandist and the Wehrmacht forming up here with the 16th Panzerdivision tasked with holding the line, no matter their cost until reinforcements can arrive. We got Duffman here with Elite Armour featuring 2-1s, emergency repairs, Panzer Commander, high heat shells, and the Sturmtiger Hotzenplotz with Blitzkrieg, Jaeger Armour, and Storm. Lord with Guard Motor, mechanized support airborne troops, Witchdoctor with NKVD, Shock Army, and shockingly, Guard Motor. Both players there with double concepts, Grenade MD42 for Hotzenplotz, and Volkskriegs Kuhwagen there for Duffman. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, champion of heroes one and all, and without them, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to all of those. Other people can join them and support the effort by Patreon Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links in the description would make me very happy if you were to do that. And finally, commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing would also help me out a bit there. So do consider doing that. But anyways, we're off to the races here. Hotzenplotz in the north here with the 3rd Panzergrenadier Company securing terrain there in the south. Duffman and the 7th Panzergrenadier Company strikes hard here at Lord's southern positions. His Frontevics there clearly not ready for this motorized infantry blitz here as Duffman goes in hard here for the fatherland, leaving numerous dead Soviet infantrymen in his wake. Up north here, we got the brave push here by Witchdoctor, outmaneuvering here Hotzenplotz, spearheading, going straight for the copper before backing off there, vanishing into the snows like a snow fox. There are those. Up north in news of the Grenadiers here. South side of the Duffman's assault continues. Sturmpionier being weakened out. They will not be able to participate in the engagement in third leaning to find just the faults of the Kuhwagen. And at this point, it's just a matter of time before Duffman will have to concede ground. Will he prepare ahead of time? Will he try and reinforce this engagement as just the field sputters out? Or will he just, dig in here and prepare a fresh line of defense against the Marxists? Up north here, Hotzenplotz managed to put a stop there to the plot to hit his car fire there. Up north, though, Witchdoctor decides on another excessive attack here against Hotzenplotz and the Germans. Trot there for Duffman with another foot score on the way there, so it's with the triple conscripts and double units in both cases. Very much a standard Soviet builder, both in 1-1s and 2v2s. It is just very solid, and also leads very well inside the Guard Motor mechanized support in most cases here. I guess Shock Army as well. Truck there halfway done here for Duffman. Up north here, better skirmishing. As you can see there, Witchdoctor again looking for another active attack here against Hotzenplotz, looking, trying again, extend him further, try and force him into uncomfortable positions. You can then exploit very sharp infantry play here by Witchdoctor. That's it. Hotzenplotz here is no slouch himself, and I think he's handled this as fairly well as he can, though. Again, it's going to be a tough one here. It's going to be a tricky balance versus Witchdoctor. We got points to short here and there as well. In the south, you can see there on the mini-map, Duffman is being pushed back there as Lord is striking back. Duffman basically too extended here, like the Germans in Moscow, and is now getting pushed back there by Lord. Pawnees needs MD4 to repositioning as swiftly as possible. Going to block in here as well. Their Pawnees need to retreat before they get exterminated here by Witchdoctor and his men there, close to a wipe there. In the south here, we got Duffman pushing ahead for the German army, counter-attacking into Lord's counter-attack. The Kuhwagen there is somehow holding on there, close to Veteran 2 there. And up here, we can see the Hotzenplotz turns the plots on Witchdoctor by going for his car upon as all the rest is happening here. Machine in trouble, Grenadiers in trouble here though. Witchdoctor keeps up the offensive and is seemingly having some good success versus Hotzenplotz, who is bringing a mortar. A Granatenwerfer, my ladies and gentlemen. He's gone for 3 Grenadiers, 1 MV2, and a mortar. Meanwhile, nothing further is happening here with the third build orders. We got Flamethrower there for Witchdoctor. Lord remains a bit conservative there. Meanwhile, Duffman's assault goes into the second wave here. 2-1 on the way from as well. They're, of course, part of Elite Armoured. A lot of players will go for the 2-1. It is obviously quite good versus infantry. Plus, later on, can provide you with a bit of extra fuel or munitions if it stays alive for that long. And, of course, you want to do that. Mod firing down in the northern point here. Landing close there. Up north, Hickman's playing around the conscripts. Good play by Hotzenplotz. Could get a wipe here on Witchdoctor in the early game, which would definitely leave Witchdoctor in need of an actual doctor. In the south here, Kuban rushing in. There's 7 cultivated 2 there. The Kuban has definitely done its part for the Reich. Constant reposition towards defending the car point and pressuring the Germans around the fuel point here. Up north here, skirmishing between Witchdoctor and Hotzenplotz. Support company up with both side players. We got a field gun there for Lord, obviously consider both the Kugelwagen and I imagine a possible 2-to-1. Of course, I don't think he's yet to see it, but it certainly wouldn't be a half bad thing to be prepared for. And there you go, Witchdoctor here with the first commander on the third side of the Scout motor. Big surprise there, mild shock. Probably going to be seeing some DP light machine for them as soon as possible. Further pressure here, of course, to Hotzenplotz infantry as guards with the double DP light machine guns. Obviously, quite good as an infantry, but can also, face off against German light vehicles. In the center here, we got knees catching here. Hotzenplotz mortar pushing him back. They're mortified and closer to the conscripts. And there we go, Lord, in a staggering surprise, also commits to guard motor. Really just, I think, cementing just how strong a commander guard motor is when you can actually see, like, both serve players go for it. Sending a grenade there in the face of the Soviet assault here to slow down. Made it hard for him to get back the southern fuel point in the Germans so far. But definitely having some good pressure here, of course, again, with both Soviet players having gone for guard motor and the addition of guardsmen and I think heavy mortars. There's definitely, I think, a good situation, possibility that the Soviets will be able to push back the Germans, as a bunch of guardsmen and a bunch of heavy mortars is definitely a recipe for a massive German headache. North here, troops advancing again. You can see there once more Witchdoctor is looking to sort of exploit this northern side, which typically tends to get overlooked by a lot of players. That way swing around here, Hotzenplotz, frontliners, pretty much there's just nothing there. So I would say smart footwork here by Witchdoctor. Definitely playing to one of the surge strength, which again is the mobility. And there you go, catching the full as you see. Bit short on the munition for the DP light machine, but not too far away there. Meanwhile, we got tech there for Witchdoctor with a tank review tank command. I'm guessing a T-zone here from him. In the south, Lord and Duffman continue their titanic duel, and Hotzenplotz is going for a 4th Grenadier escort here. Obviously a solid pick here. Personally, I would have preferred a Panzer Grenadier escort, maybe 2, but 4 Grenadiers with light machine guns is quite good. So obviously, not like he's making a bad choice there. Almost got the guards with an excellent kill there by Hotzenplotz and almost near wipe there. We also got the Kuhwagen and the 2-to-1 here, which could also maybe help to get the wipe there, but in the end didn't quite succeed. We also got the fielding here, which obviously is a massive sword of Damocles there hanging over Duffman's light vehicles and of course easily threaten to snuff them out at any moment. North their points being seized. Conscript falling back here for Witchdoctor. Center we got the conscript there for Lord. And we got some flare mines being set off here. We can see there Hotzenplotz did do some nice work there, preparing the field with some S mines, but of course Witchdoctor sees through his schemes. Lord, they're taking slightly more defensive posture, awaiting the next assault here by Duffman and Deutschland. That said, he's clearly expecting it from the northern part of the front line he's sort of holding. Instead, Duffman here launches a rapid attack here from the south, but with a smaller force up north here, I think it manages basically there to keep Lord's attention on the front there as he launches the flank from the south. Thumbs up to Duffman. I would say that is a excellently executed attack. So sort of fact we even got the 2-2-3 actually at this point, going for a really deep flank. Excellent work here by Duffman. This is a textbook good flank assault there. Most players try and go for something a bit more shallow, but Duffman understands the importance of depth. So 2 thumbs up there to Duffman. Oh yeah. Up north here, we got knees being slowly whittled down here by Hotzenplotz. Guards from the move here. Lord with the T-70 halfway down there. Witchdoctor with the T-70 already out. So that's 2 T-70 against the Germans. Hotzenplotz has 9 tank weapons, and neither does Duffman. So the 2 T-70s here, wielded correctly, could prove to be a humongous headache here for the Germans. Of course, that does beg the question, can the Soviets get those T-70s in? It's like, leverage and advantage. We see the Hotzenplotz has really done some significantly large S-mine fields here. And there you go. Witchdoctor's men pay the price. Several men there find their feet blown off clean there by the S-mines or spraying up Minen. T-Sen number 2 trying to hit the foots there, catching Duffman's vanguard there off guard. The Academy Alpha and truck on the way to Duffman. And we got Hotzenplotz here at the 10-minute mark with a final command out of 4. He picks Blitzkrieg. North here, meanwhile, Witchdoctor keeps attacking here and assailing Hotzenplotz positions. Engineers push back, mines going off amongst the S-mine field, but there's still a lot of mines here. Like, there's a pretty, like, extensive S-mine field. Like, it pretty much sort of covers, like, from here to there. Like, he's laid down a lot of S-mines. That is pretty rare to see from a Wehrmacht player. Pretty damn rare. Since most Wehrmacht players are really not comfortable making that sizable of a munitions investment. But clearly, Hotzenplotz thinks differently. You want how many S-mines? I want all of them, and I want them to cover as much as possible. Okay. So Paul McCall then is actually more or less rushed for it. Like, it's worth noting, like, he didn't build the light mechanized company. Like, he's just gone straight for the support McCall. Like, he's got no packs, no anything, not even 2-2 here. I actually kind of missed that. So, in fact, he's rushing out a command tick here. Now that's, I mean, overall, Hotzenplotz is definitely not going by the usual plots. That's for sure. We do get Duffman all the camera holding back here. Both Witchdoctor and Lord's T-70s now here. There's some great anti-tank weapon economy here for Duffman and the Deutschlanders. Pioneers squaring off against the conscripts, though pretty awkwardly up north here. We got Hotzenplotz trying to pressure against Witchdoctor's line, but Witchdoctor remains firmly entrenched, filking for him. Still, I mean, while Lord has gone for guard motors well, that he has yet to utilize it. We've seen no guardsmen here or heavy mortars from Lord. We got the command tank out of the fields, Panzerkampfwagen 4 for Hotzenplotz and Deutschland. Lots. Skirmishing here. Counter on these here. Friedrich drops dead. Ripped apart there by third machine gun fire here. Mortar firing down close to the country in the center. We got Lord with a guard squad of his own finally. Upgrading that with DP light machine guns. Witchdoctor's we got his upgraded. Will we seeing any heavy mortars though from them? I mean, heavy mortars in 2v2 in particular I think are quite potent. In particular some maps I think further additionally incentivize third players to go for heavy mortars because they feature not a lot of room to maneuver, but also just a lot of choke points, which means heavy mortars in particular on those maps are great. I would say Dreux Scout isn't quite one of those maps, but certainly the way at times the map flows, it does still make heavy mortars quite good. Northie again, because see the Witchdoctor is like really good at like, you know, trying to sneak around through the Northie. Like this is like such a blind spot for the, like most players, but Witchdoctor there is not that kind of player that he utilizes the good part of the map there, though he could arguably try and go for like an even deeper flank, but I think that requires some armor vehicle to really make that work. That depth there, but it is something you could consider eventually. T-Sen going for the center, they're going to push back here as Witchdoctor strikes. The south here, Lord and Duffman continues to grapple here. Got the T-Sen in dining repairs. Fresh forcing out there for Witchdoctor. And up north there, the command tank with gun support and incendiary prison rounds here. Gets a full wipe there on Witchdoctor's guardsman. Thumbs up there to Hotzenplotz. I mean, he's definitely getting some mileage out of the Wehrmacht tools you typically don't see that much used there. So, I mean, there's some excellent Wehrmacht play there by Hotzenplotz. Excellent. Southie armored car there with Fuchs going here up against Lord in the southeast. Sturmpionier squad clustering well down. And we got Obersoldaten here for Duffman. He's gone for the Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier and is adding in the mighty, the elite Obersoldaten. Got the fields Panzerkampf trying to get the engineers there. Note, it wasn't super. It was kind of rare to see older model of tank being used as command tanks. Typically, they just use another model of the same tank as a command tank in a more common model, like, you know, regular Panther 4 command tank and all that. But occasionally, you'd still see like older models being used, in particular for like, you know, regimental and battalion level stuff, where they weren't necessarily heavily expected to be at the front line. For example, you know, I think it was the 2nd SS Panzer Division Normandy actually had some Panzer 3s as command tanks, but again, we're talking like, you know, battalion and regimental level stuff there. So not exactly like meant to, like, you know, be at the tip of the spearhead, for example.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
So, little fun note there. Note the command tank in this particular is based off the early model Panda 4, which was designed as an infantry support tank. Of course, that was quickly scrapped as they realised they needed to stack a bigger gun with a higher velocity on it. North here though, Hotzenplotz strike back here, Witchdoctor. Both Witchdoctor and Hotzenplotz both feeling a bit of manpower here. Not a huge float, but I think nonetheless at this point something that is worth commenting on. Got the field gun wiped here. This is excellent for Hotzenplotz and definitely a bit disastrous here for Witchdoctor. He's already lost the guard squad, and our field gun wipe here, in particular if it falls into the hands of Hotzenplotz, could be absolutely disastrous for Witchdoctor, though he has gone for the Mechanized Armor Company and likely will try and rush out a T-34 some 60 versus Hotzenplotz and probably also Duffman. Oh, he even had to sacrifice the needs here to get the field gun. Even that is going to not work out because he wiped the crew anyway. So this was extra painful for Witchdoctor. He will need to replace his losses, but he also needs to get out of tank here. Lord, meanwhile, he had to take up. And he's not making too much progress. Duffman in the south either. Get here, Scout from there versus the orbital Darden here. Got the forces they're finding up. We got the constant finding back as well. North here we got Witchdoctor C70 here versus Hotzenplotz infantry. Looking to keep them away here from the field gun. Another field gun away there for Witchdoctor. Though again, crucially, not a lot more infantry. Almost got the Grenadier squad wiped here, but falls a bit short here for Witchdoctor to get that wipe on Hotzenplotz, which definitely would have helped Witchdoctor slightly equalise. He's actually going to briefly consider mortar, though again, why not go for a heavy mortar then? Part of me would, you know, argue here. And there you go, Hotzenplotz with a Panda 4, thumbs up. Witchdoctor's close to the T-34, so he can also take a bit advantage of the chaos here. The fact that not another infantry needed, he should actually rush in and clear out the field gun again. But maybe get some wipes in some of Hotzenplotz's other units there. That's actually pretty smart. The crew got him again, but he's at this point starting to really bleed out, trying to get this field gun out of the reach of Witchdoctor. And the radio arm there go wiped again. Obviously, it's not quite at this point. There's still enough to make up for the losses Witchdoctor has suffered, but it helps mitigate the damage and the difference that must be here between him and Hotzenplotz. Almost got the mortar there. He's gone opposite crime through the field gun. We got the other team running here. Field gun there. He's trying to recruit, but his men are taking too much damage, too heavy losses, and he's actually forced to retreat here, right as the field gun is within reach here. We also got Grenadiers with a flamethrower, but they're getting mauled as well here. TC needs to disengage. Fresh field gun has arrived. It's close to the front line here. We got a maximum weight of Witchdoctor. He can go for the T-34 now, though, of course, going for T-35 would also think be a very sensible choice here for Witchdoctor. Lord, meanwhile, is taking out himself in the south here, though. Lord and Duffman are in the first definitely battle here, and it's looking pretty rough here for Lord, though he is pushing back Duffman here. We also got the Panzer IV Model J out for Duffman. Panzer IV pulled back. We got 227 to 431. Kuhwagen by East over there. Some excellent Kuhwagen handling here by Duffman. Oh yeah. Field gun out there for Lord as well. Bringing a second one here. It looks like Witchdoctor is in fact scheming here for a T-35, which honestly under the circumstances makes a lot of sense. Fresh guard squad out there with some DP light machine guns. Thumbs up to Witchdoctor and the Red Army. Troops sitting forwards here for Hotzenplotz. Field gun bombarding here. Duffman's position in the south, forcing troop position there. Blessed, you know, he risks stuff getting wiped. We got mines here from Witchdoctor, clearly concerned about a hard push here by Hotzenplotz. Clearly very concerned. Well, Witchdoctor now has the fuel for the T-35. He's just a bit short on manpower. Lord is also close to that fuel-wise being there, but similar to Witchdoctor, Lord has a bit of a manpower shortage, which will definitely make the requisition of a T-35 a bit tricky. Obviously not impossible, but tricky. In this regard, the Germans doing a fairly good job there, pressuring the Soviets and beat them out. T-some racing in there. We got Confluence Captain 40, Panther 4 command tank laying in into the flanks here of Witchdoctor and Lord's force there, but they're hitting into Duffman's flank here. T-78 still racing in there, almost like he's trying to bait them around to stick around longer there with the possible ability of Panzerfausting, but nope. Enter retreating Panther 4 was knocked out here, hitting really hard here Duffman, and Duffman is definitely suffering a bit here. Field gun there covering the flank from any intervention directly there from Hotzenplotz, though he could himself try for deeper flanking against Duffman. Of course, he could be concerned about mines. Panzer IV being self-repaired. Kind of lucky he didn't get run down with the field guns first and destroyed. That was really risky there by Duffman, but clearly a very calculated risk. In this case, worked out, but I definitely would not recommend most players to do under those circumstances. In the south, the T-Sim could take out the Ace Kubelwagen, which is going to be a bit of a blow there to Duffman and Deutschland. Got the Ace Kubelwagen. It's a day of mourning for the German peoples. T-35 there for Witchdoctor as expected, and one for Lord as well, and two T-35s will definitely be a bit of a challenge there for the Germans to sort of handle, in particular the third sector, know how to make good use of it. If they don't, obviously, they not so much. Command train there, the 14 kills, veterans 1 has already been, I think, a pretty good investment for Hotzenplotz and the German army. Samex in the south. T-35 out there for Witchdoctor. Panther holding up there. Heading northwards, looking against the swing around. Teen hit. Hotzenplotz from Angle he's not quite ready for, though, of course, with air reconnaissance courtesy of Blitzkrieg, he's not going to be that easily caught off guard here by any maneuvers from Witchdoctor or even Lord. You can see the Hotzenplotz flank support for Duffman here, swinging around the car pond, looking to hit around into Lord's flank. Excellent work there. We got the T-35 there arriving. There you go. Shoots, misses the Panther IV command tank. An excellent miss there for Hotzenplotz, but definitely a bit rubbish for Lord. And there you go. Field crew wiped out. Panther IV, Oberstleutnant and folks all charging ahead. He needs to crew that field and needs to keep the Germans away from it. Panther IV was the T-35. Falling a bit back here up north, here we also got Witchdoctor and Hotzenplotz clashing and slashing. T-35 there barraging its way through here. Field gun opening up. In the south here, the Duffman's forces are unleashing an attack strike here. Field gun there narrowly makes it through in somewhat one piece. Looks like the German tanks have suffered some losses here, but they are still certainly holding out for now. T-35 dying forwards. He almost got the Panther IV, but it's almost taken out here by Duffman. Could get a wipe in the opposite, and that's going to be helpful there for him. Can he actually land it? He does. That definitely helps the Third Army out a fair bit here versus the Germans. Doesn't fix all their issues, but nonetheless getting rid of such a valuable unit there from Duffman's force is, I think, an excellent win there for him. That is for Lord, not for Duffman. Bit of resource spot there by Duffman, by the way. Truck on the way could be a King Tiger stall here being planned by Duffman. He's also got a King Tiger bulletin, so that could certainly further reinforce one's suspicions that Duffman, in particular with that kind of victory point, might think, you know, now is the time for the Königstiger. Certainly could work out, but there's also a good chance it could give the Surge more wiggle room to, like, you know, further turn this game around against the Germans. They're definitely, like, getting better at holding on to the victory points, so I think a King Tiger sort of move here by Duffman is not without its risks, but I imagine he has considered them. I imagine he has. Witchdoctor for the half-track, Court Mount there, likely to help deal with Hotzenplotz anti-aircraft support, but in this case could also help deal with the Stuart Close air support. Meanwhile, Lord is going for Maxim. Worth noting, none of the server players actually bothered with, like, any heavy mortars. I do think they'd benefit a fair amount from that, so I'm honestly a bit surprised they haven't bothered with that. Like, it's one of the reasons Guard Motor is so good. It's not just the T-35, which is amazing, and the Guards from the Mark vehicle, or the vehicle repair training, it's also the heavy mortar. They're just all pretty good stuff here. But there you go, field bombarding here. Hotzenplotz going to send packing in there as the plot explodes for them. In the south here, skirmishing in between Duffman and Lord, the Panther IV, the heat shells punching away at the T-35 there. MG-34 with the his rounds here, shredding Lord's infantry. Thumbs up to Duffman there for using the Cinema piercing rounds. Again, it's an excellent ability. And up north here, Hotzenplotz unleashes the Luftwaffe here on Witchdoctor. And I think part of what he's doing is because they're stuck in the middle of the S-mine fields. Like, you know, even the Stuka doesn't quite hit, he can still set off the S-mines. It's possible to do heavy damage here to Witchdoctor. So I think tactically that's a pretty smart move there by Hotzenplotz. In this case, though, Witchdoctor is able to like, get out most of it, but that could have gone a lot worse for him if he'd been a bit unlucky. Command tank lands a wipe here on another of Witchdoctor's field guns. We also got Duffman supporting Hotzenplotz here. T-35 being self-repaired. Lord's T-35 there supporting as well around here in the north, trying to assist Witchdoctor against Duffman and Hotzenplotz combined arms maneuver. South, we do have the 2 to 3 boy on the munitions point, ensuring that Duffman will have plenty of ammunition for, you know, Panzer Commanders, heat shells, emergency repairs, and who knows what else. He's clearly, while he's going for the King Tiger, he's clearly not looking to rush it super hard either, which is a bit interesting. You figure like maybe in a secure fuel point, or at least at a regular point, and that way assist him towards the goal of getting at that King Tiger just a bit faster. But it seems like Duffman is not a fan of that. He just hasn't considered it. It's hard to say, obviously. North here, Lord launching an assault against Hotzenplotz position. He is narrowly holding on here as Lord and Witchdoctor unleashing the full armoured might of the Red Army upon him and his front line here. Duffman to the rescue with the Panther 4 heat shells there being unloaded into the T-70s. Attempted to unload it, but the action of the Panther 4 ultimately betrays it. And Germany. Witchdoctor able to go for another T-35, of course, with ultimate in HE5 here versus Duffman and Hotzenplotz. Hotzenplotz has gone for the heavy Panzer Corps. Could be a Panther, could be a Sturmpanzer, could be a buttload of Panzerwerfers. We shall have to see what it is Hotzenplotz is aspiring to. It is a Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. South approach to the country there. Panther slowly roaming here for Deutschland. As for Duffman, he is getting ever closer to that King Tiger, the Tiger 2, also known as the Tiger B. He's almost got the fuel, yes, needs the manpower. Witchdoctor with an HE5 tank destroyer. That will certainly prove to be helpful against the King Tiger and the Panther. And there you go, MG-34 the mobility here with the field gun. T-35 also, of course, adding some significant weight there to the firepower being unloaded into the center positions. Germans being led out here with the Soats as Witchdoctor and Lord are definitely tightening the screws here around Duffman and Hotzenplotz forces and their thumbs. Koenigsegg out here for Duffman, adding the Panzer Commander. No, this is the production model. I know there's some confusion about this being a Porsche or Henschel tank, but the reality is neither Porsche, well, Henschel of course had something to do with it, but Porsche had nothing to do with it. They, after the whole Tiger fiasco, basically weren't in the running for the King Tiger in the first place. The actual issue is more around the gun, whether it's Krupp that's meant to be handling it or Rheinmetall Borsig. So, fun fact there, in fact, that one actually got so bad that the then Ministry of Armaments, Dr. Todt, or Dr. Death, had to step in and tell him to knock it off. So fun fact there you go. Panther with heat shells getting messages 4 here against the T-35. King Tiger southwards here for Germany. Equipped with an 88mm with a high velocity gun, meaning it packed much higher penetrative power than just say the Tiger's gun. Could pretty much punch through the arm of any tank in the war. Panther bringing in, engaging here, and he's being bombarded by the T-35s there. Straight to mine here though for Hotzenplotz. Panther there almost as his first deed of this battle. Definitely not a great opening there for Hotzenplotz Panzerkampfwagen 5. He's got plenty of other forces backed up. Green laid on the smoke screen. There we go. Deploy smoke. Thumbs up to Hotzenplotz. In the south here, Duffman's King Tiger providing battle support. There was infantry. 5 kills already there for the Reich. Could be up to 6, never mind. Okay, good. It turns to 6 here. Johnson advancing here. But even with the T-70, obviously, they're not going to stop the King Tiger. They cannot stop the King Tiger. And Lord, unsurprisingly, going for Nation 5. In response to the arrival of the Koenigsegg. And the absolute carnage it is unleashing upon his forces. Up north, though, Witchdoctor is striking pretty thickly at Hotzenplotz, with the Panther already forced out the fight. Note the retreat path he took here, making sure to take a path where his opponents doesn't like to pay attention. The Resistance force is basically collapsing under the sheer weight of Witchdoctor's armed forces. Field gun destroyed. Panther getting the ace level, but does knock out T-70, a good kill. But is at risk of getting knocked out itself. 25 kills, ace level, there we go. Almost got it. We got air recons here from Hotzenplotz. Command tank being fixed up. Panther still trying to get its way back here for repairs. Again, taking a very long route here, but also crucially a bit safer. Unless, of course, the opponent knows about it, in which case, of course, it's going to be very isolated that way, easy to deal with, but, you know. King Tiger moving towards the center here. On the move here for Deutschland. Shoots kind of webs there. Flanking with the T-35. Good shot there from the Koenigsegg on the T-35. And got it. Max and Watt with a great killer for Duffman against Lord. Up north, the Hotzenplotz is still reeling here after the hammer blow from Witchdoctor and the Red Army. He's clearly not destroyed either. Let's see if he goes for next. In the south here, the fight between Duffman and Lord continues. A 10 years gold here, keeping the fuel there still flowing for the Red Army. But Duffman is practically doing almost everything is, you know, within his ability to take it out of the Soviet equation. Metzens won the King Tiger. 14 kills, being bombarded here repeatedly by the Soviets. Good shot on the H-5 here by the field gun. Good hit from the King Tiger. That's going to be, I think, yeah, the end of that H-5 there. Witchdoctor definitely extending here versus Duffman too much and got hit by a 1-2 counter punch there. Up north, though, Witchdoctor and Hotzenplotz at it still. Another Panther for Hotzenplotz. Another Panzerkampfwagen 5. H-5 there, H-72. Smoke being deployed against the Soviets. Panther setting out the Hotzenplotz. Sandbags up here. The south fighting continues for the southern victory point. We got there. Duffman pushing back Lord successfully. Issued 5 there, H-72. Second Panther almost on the Hotzenplotz. That'll be 2 Panthers and a command tank. A sizable armored force here from him. He's very sizable force there. Got that Panther form move again. Ace level engaging here. Lord's infantry with indiscriminate firepower range. H-5 fires back, but misses the Panther 4 there. And there you go. Duffman's Koenigsegg is once more fit for fight here to meet the Marxist menace head on. Another T-35 there for Lord. That's a Witchdoctor. Maybe another H-5 here. Maybe another T-35. There you go. Does go for second H-5. We got the King Tiger there unloading heat shields into the H-5 there and possibly another support weapons. Good shot. They almost got the H-5, but there you go. Quick turn in the favour here. Punching through the King Tiger's armour. In the centre here, Panthers are squaring off against Witchdoctor. Again, 2 Panthers. Guys doing bombarded here with the 2 Panthers and of course the King Tiger. Each field gun out here for Lord, hammering away here at Duffman's position. Somebody get lucky, but they're not. Up north here, fighting continues here between Hotzenplotz and Witchdoctor. Not quite as aggressive with his flanks this time around. Still some S-mines left as well there from Hotzenplotz. And a fresh T-35 out there. H-5 ready there. North here, rifle needs and mortar fire they're raining down here upon Witchdoctor's forces indiscriminately. Fresh MB4 to the Hotzenplotz. Panther pushed back here, but so anti-tank firepower. They're pushing down to half of in a matter of moments. And we got here Hotzenplotz with his armored fist here, ready to assail any Soviet armored formation. Chief throwing 4 trains to the Gundiers here. Panthers on the move. He's trained to the East 5. Good shot there, but it gets a lot of return from both Panthers, pushing the East 5 down to half health here. T-Field explosions rear to the Panthers is definitely not great there either for Witchdoctor. Ace little T-Field far the ball away. Infantry pursuing the Panthers in the south here. Lord and Duffman continues the dance of death here, as Duffman looks possibly ready to unleash both of his tanks now against Lord in a well-coordinated armored punch potentially. North front continue their Panther being pushed back here. Can't quite push as hard as they want to. Second H, like I did lose an H5, so it doesn't have 2. Now that does Lord. North here, Panther there a bit on hold. 127, 248. Comes their pinned down far up north here. Germans are back to rapidly bleeding out the surge. The surge needs something about this rapidly before this spirals completely out of control. You've got the command tank engaging Witchdoctor's infantry. 38 kills in the ace. There you go. Actually, follow the chance to fail punching through the command tanks runs along with these. An aircraft shot down, almost landing right on top of Hotzenplotz's pioneers, but he does avoid such a tragic and most annoying fate here. Heat shell King Tiger going for the H5 there. Shot misses though. But neither can the H5. Second shot almost takes out the H5 there. King Tiger with heat shells can deliver a lot of damage. Panther going for a flank here, looking to catch some vulnerable elements and the lost command of guard, but for Duffman, luck was not with them that day, as Lord has nothing in the vicinity. Up north, the Witchdoctor once more punches away there at Hotzenplotz, wailing away at his front line. His mortar crews exterminated as Witchdoctor and his armored fist advances even further against Hotzenplotz. Anti-tank grenades from the Pantheon. Veterans 1 gain 2 kills. In the south, you've got the T-35, that's the command. The Panther on the Tiger heading near East on that Königstiger. Great shot there, H-5 knocked out. Panther going for the H-5 here. North here, T-35 there, 27 kills. Good shot from the H-5 right through the Panther's free armor. We got the command tank in engaged with the T-35. The T-Sim flying away as well. Comes going for the anti-tank grenade. Almost got it here. This could get a bit problematic for Hotzenplotz. There you go. The command tank is all over the place now. Panther's being held back with heavy repairs. And we got Duffman launching in the King Tiger here in a surprise counterattack. Looks like it's so. There you go. Caught here with the T-35. It unleashed his heat shell there, doing intense amount of damage to the T-35 there. And its second shot could actually take it out and does so. We got a veteran free King Tiger, increasing mobility, I think. Yep, and increasing the rate of fire as well, to making it even more lethal for infantry and for armor. Troops are pressed here by the MG-42 and the King Tiger's suppressive firepower gains from the spearhead mode. Well, worth noting here that spearhead mode does not mention that the King Tiger it gets suppressive fire in its whole machine gun, but it does. Also applies both to the Tiger Age, which has a similar ability. North we got the H-5 and the T-5 there striking forwards here, going for the juggler here as Hotzenplotz trying to pull his bent back and equip for that matter back in a decent order, but Witchdoctor's not allowing that. In the south, the Lord has seemingly suffered catastrophic losses here against Duffman. Is down to next to nothing. Aircraft shot out of the sky here. So Witchdoctor's basically the only combat effective force, and the Lord suffers even further losses. Even heavier casualties against the German army. He's down to just 2 engineers and a guard squad. He does go for a conscript, but at this point, in fact, he has dropped out. At which point, the match is going to be over soon anyway, so might as well just stop here. There's not really much else to say. GG, game over. A nice one here for the Germans. In the end, there's definitely, I think, some opportunity the Soviets, I think, could have taken. I mean, Witchdoctor, I feel like, had the right idea, but I feel like failed to fully exploit it. I think there's also room for more coordination between Witchdoctor and Lord, whereas I think Duff and Hotzenplotz had a bit better coordination there. That said, I think it also helped with Hotzenplotz playing very aggressively and then actually exploiting that aggressive play. And it's like, playing a decent follow-up with a command Panther support and then making that actually work into Panthers. So, it's a good play there by Hotzenplotz. And definitely also somewhat unorthodox. So I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Link saying cheers. And see you all tomorrow for another episode. And my apologies about Bass in the background.